Hello everyone! So today's video is going to be a very quick tutorial, but mostly tips and tricks on how to get a goodish eyebrow. Now these are my eyebrows, obviously. They're in the eyebrow place where they should be. And they are filled in, drawn on, whatever you want to call it. I think that filling in eyebrows, however bold or as light as you want to go, is so important to your face. Having eyebrows filled in and structured just emphasise your features. They make your eyes look a lot nicer. Now I would just like to say before this video goes any further that I don't by any means think my eyebrows are amazing, because I don't. I think they are better than they used to be, which is why I'm doing this video, because I struggled for a very long time to get the right technique of how to do my eyebrows. I just feel that I've learnt quite a lot with everything that I've done for my eyebrows, which I know sounds very, very strange, but you'll see what I mean as the video goes on. So no, I don't think these eyebrows are perfect and amazing, but they're a hell of a lot better than they used to be. Okay, so the first thing is a lot of people say, well, why do you fill in your eyebrows? It's not because I'm dark haired and because, you know, my hairs on my actual eyebrows are very, very light. They're not at all. The eyebrows that I do have, the hairs are probably the same colour as my hair. It's because filling in your eyebrows just structures and frames your face so much nicer than when they're not filled in or drawn on, or however you want to call it. They also make your eyes look bigger and better. So even if you're wearing no eye makeup, or you have eye makeup on, you have excessive amounts of eye makeup on, if you don't fill in your eyebrows, if you don't structure your face, then your face won't look half as good as it can do with your eyebrows filled in. It doesn't matter if you have brown hair, black hair, ginger hair, blonde hair. It doesn't matter if you're really tanned or really, really pale. Filling in your eyebrows can work for everyone. That I absolutely promise you. And when I look back at photos where I haven't drawn on my brows, wow is all I have to say. I actually look as though someone has gone like this. I mean, that is pretty hideous. It looks awful. Look. Oh, I have no eyebrows. I feel like an alien. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's the other one. And we're back to normal. It looks weird. It looks really weird. And when I look back at photos, I'm like, ah, crikey. That looks awful. But when I went out, I thought, yeah, I looked smokingly hot. I didn't. I really didn't. Okay, so these tips are in no particular order. I'm just going to kind of whack them at you. Do with them as you please. I have thought these through, and they are ones that I follow myself and will continue to follow until I can't be bothered to sort myself out anymore, I suppose. So the first thing I would advise, and I wish I'd taken my own advice all the years back when I started plucking my eyebrows, is go and get your eyebrows waxed, threaded, sugared, plucked, lasered, burnt off, whatever you want to do, go get them done by a professional. Honestly, this will help. I plucked my eyebrows for 13 years before I did this, or maybe like 11 or 12 years before I did this. So although you're plucking and you think you're getting rid of a lot of the hair, there are so many blonde hairs like all around here that you just won't get with tweezers, because you just need like a big industrial thing to like rip them off. So I was getting all the dark hairs, you know, shaping my eyebrow, but I wasn't getting all the sort of copious amounts of blonde hairs that were here, which was making it very hard for me to fill in my eyebrows with powder or with wax, like waxy pencil, because I wasn't having like a definite line where my hair ended and kind of my skin on my eyebrow began. I know that sounds very, very strange, but hopefully if you have the same issue, that you will know what I mean. So the first sort of please is go and get your eyebrows waxed professionally. I did have my eyebrows HD'd for a while, and I really highly suggest that if you haven't, if you're considering it, I would go get your eyebrows HD'd. Going a step down from that, I would go to Benefit, and that is where I now go, because I couldn't really afford to keep up with HD. So I now go to Benefit, and I'm very happy. It's the shape I've got now. I think they're really good. I haven't had my eyebrows waxed for about 4 or 5 weeks now, and they're still going pretty strong. You know, there's some blonde hairs kind of fighting their way through, and I've obviously pluck out every now and then just dark hairs. But yeah, so tip number 1 is go and get your eyebrows professionally looked at. My second tip is to go and get your eyebrows dyed or tinted. This is obviously optional. Not everyone wants to get their eyebrows dyed or tinted. I find you just use one less product when your eyebrows have been like newly dyed or tinted, just because they're already quite dark, so you just need to fill in kind of the sparse areas. So dyeing your eyebrows or tinting them I find is very, very good. Just a little disclaimer that dyeing your eyebrows and tinting your eyebrows, they don't last for, you know, forever. The dye will wear off, I'd say normally after about a week or 2 weeks, so that's just something to kind of bear in mind. But for the time that you do have it done, it does last. They do look really, really good. Here's a little fact for you, and this is one I did not know until I got my eyebrows HD'd, is depending on how you pluck your eyebrows, depends on how the hairs grow back. What do you mean by that, I hear you say? So for instance, if you've got a hair, like let's say here, and you pluck it up, so say you pluck all your eyebrows upwards, your eyebrow hairs are going to grow back upwards. Same as if you pluck all your eyebrow hairs downwards, all your eyebrow hairs are going to grow back downwards. I used to over pluck in this middle section here. I used to like, basically my eyebrows used to start like here, for instance. And I used to just kind of pluck them any way I wanted to, and now I'm going through that phase where they're growing back and they are growing in every direction you could humanly possibly think, and it is very annoying. But that is my own fault, so that is something to please bear in mind if you do pluck your eyebrows, and if you want to continue to pluck your eyebrows, there's nothing wrong with plucking your eyebrows, make sure you pluck them in the direction that they grow and in the direction you want them to grow back in. So that is something to bear in mind. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly show you how I do my eyebrow. And again, I just want to say that my eyebrows, I hope, are a natural brow look. So it's not anything kind of major in your face. I think I just go for a natural brow. So what I'm about to show you is for an everyday natural brow look, and I hope it's beneficial and I hope you find it useful. Okay, so here we are all zoomed in, and I'm going to show you how I do my eyebrows. So obviously I've got one already filled in and one that's not. I hope you can see straight away the difference that it makes when you fill in your eyebrow. I know I can see massively the difference it makes. So if I just hold something up on my face, so that is obviously the filled in brow. Okay, and then the not filled in brow. I do think it makes a mass difference. Just looking, I think it makes a really big difference. So I'm going to show you how I do my eyebrows. My eyebrows. I obviously do both of them. I don't look like this on a regular day, or ever, in fact. Okay, so here's my oh so naked eyebrow. The first thing that I'm doing is I'm going to go through with a spoolie and just neaten out my eyebrow. The next step that I do, and this is totally sort of optional, you don't have to do this, is I like to outline my eyebrow with a pencil. Now this is an Eylure pencil. The colour is medium to light, and I basically fill in the middle section. So kind of, if you know what I mean, here to here, I leave this front section. And as you can see, I'm doing it stroke by stroke, ever so lightly. So it's like light feather movements, and I'm spooling as I go. So that is the basic shape. Now you can leave it here if you want. It is pretty, you know, filled in. However, what I like to do is I like to take a powder, and I will show you the powders I use afterwards. So I'm taking this powder through, again, just through the middle section here, okay? So just through this section here, ever so lightly, okay? Taking it down. It's all about being very light-handed on your brows. You don't want to go in really heavy-handed, because that's when you end up looking like you should, I don't know, go join the circus or something. So it's all about being very, very, very light-handed and just kind of gradually filling in your brow. Then what you want to do is you want to take a lighter colour to fill in this section here. So I'm just taking my pencil and I'm just going in upward strokes. Just upward like that. Okay? Upward strokes. Ever so lightly. Always coming back and spooling it out. Okay, like this. Okay, so the last step for eyebrows, and this is totally optional, is just feeding some form of brow gel through the brows. Again, I'm going to discuss all products that I use afterwards, but just feeding it through really just helps the eyebrow stay in place. And then I take a little detail brush and I basically just wipe away any errors, any, you know, dust that's maybe fall down from the eyeshadow, any little naughty hairs that aren't staying in place. And that, my friends, is how I fill in my eyebrows. Now I'm going to show you some tools that I use for my eyebrows. Yes, let's start. The first thing is just spoolies. Spoolies. These are disposable spoolies from Crown. They're just... oh, one's poking out of the bottom, that's convenient. Just little disposable spoolies from Crown. Oh, and another one. They're really good. And then I've just got some higher end spoolies. Some that come on brushes, some that are, you know, normal spoolies. So spoolies is key. Next up is angled brushes. I find angled brushes are the best for putting on eyebrow stuff. The one that I use and the one that I used in my tutorial just now, and the one that I find is the best of the best, is the Eco Tools brush, which is a pointed angular brush. Now onto eyebrow products. Now again, as mentioned, I fill in with the Eylure eyebrow pencil, and this is in light to medium, or sorry, medium to light blonde. Medium to light blonde, and I just use this to outline my eyebrow. That is all. I don't use it to proper fill in my eyebrow, I just use it to outline my eyebrow, and I think it works very well. Now I'm going to show you some eyebrow powders that I have used in the past and will use in the future, but I'm not using at present. So the first one is the Brow Zing from Benefit. This one is in the colour Light. This little palette has a mirror, and then it's got the waxy bit here and the powdery bit here. It also comes with some tweezers and 2 brushes. Not a fan of the brushes, the tweezers are pretty good. But yeah, so I have used this and will continue to use it. You basically put the wax on first. I suppose you could use the wax a bit like the pencil that I use. Wax on first and then fill it in with the powder. Really good product, absolutely love it, just not using it at present. The next products are HD Brow products, and they are the HD Brow kind of palettes. I've got one in Vamp and I've got one in Foxy. And then onto the powders that I use at present. This is a MAC palette that I put together. Obviously it's just a 2 palette, nothing special. Just 2 colours. You've got charcoal brown and omega. So charcoal brown and omega. I use charcoal brown all the way through, sort of halfway through my eyebrow, all the way through, and I use omega just at the front. So omega at the front, charcoal brown all the way through the rest of the brow. Just a little tip as well, another extra tip is I love this brush by Real Techniques, and it is the detail brush, the yellow or orange detail brush. It's got a tiny brush nib bit at the top, and I use this to basically clean or dust away underneath my brows. So if there's any kind of fallout or smudging or anything like that, I will use this tiny brush and just go underneath it, over it, you know, erase anything. I just got something in my eye that really hurt. And then to set my eyebrows, again, this is optional. You don't have to set your eyebrows, you can just leave them, and sometimes I do, but I quite like to just know that they're kind of secured on my face. One item that I quite like, but it does get a little bit cloggy, congested in areas, shall we say, is the Maybelline Brow Drama. I use this in medium brown, and it's a bit of a funky brush. It's got a massive bit at the top and then goes really thin down the bottom. I use this and kind of just, yeah, brush it through my eyebrows, but because it is coloured, it's a coloured one because you can use it without having to fill in your brows. I just find that sometimes the colour kind of just sticks in clumps on my eyebrows, and then I have to get a spoolie and spoolie it all out, and it just sometimes can get a bit messy. So more often than not, if I've already filled in my brows with a powder, I'll just use a clear gel. Now you can use clear mascara, you can use you know, a very high-end product. I use the HD Brow Beater. Now the wording is all completely rubbed off here. This brow beater basically tames your eyebrows to grow back the way you want them. I'm going back to where I said that depending on how you pluck your eyebrows depends on the way in which your eyebrows grow back. Now, because I overplucked for so long, my eyebrows grow back all over the place, and it's very irritating when you're trying to smooth your eyebrows down, shall we say. So this brow beater is really, really good, and it's ever so light. It's not a clumpy kind of consistency or mixture. You just put it over ever so lightly. It's what I used on my eyebrows today in the tutorial, and it just sets them, and it has helped my eyebrows grow back a lot. Okay guys, so I think that's it really for my video. I hope it's been helpful and beneficial to you. Obviously it was very much for a natural brow look. It wasn't for you know, big bold statement eyebrows. It was just for everyday natural brows, and an insight into how I do mine, what products I use, and the tips that have really worked for me for getting the eyebrows that I now have. As I did say, it's kind of an ongoing journey, progression. They're not perfect just yet, but I'm pretty happy with how they are at the moment. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. The subscription box button is somewhere around. And yeah, I'm so bunged up, it's unbelievable. I hate it. I hate it so much. If you've enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful for yourself, then please give it a massive thumbs up. Woo! Yeah, yeah. And I will see you all next Sunday. Bye! This is thirsty work. So tasty. In the bin, first time, get in.